Yeah. Good, good. Thank you very much for coming this evening. We've got the extraordinary meeting which we followed closely by a planning meeting, at which point I'll hand over to Graham for the planning meeting. Okay. So, item 1 on the agenda is to receive any apologies for absence and declarations of interest. We have an apology from Anne. And declarations of interest.
Me for 5.1.
Okay.
Interest for the clerk.
Thank you very much.
Well, Dan, it's a peculiar interest in 5.1.
Okay, so that's no other apologies or absence? No, obviously not. Sorry. Okay, at this point I open the meeting to the floor. Members of the public are reminded that the period of time is designated for the public not exceed 10 minutes, and each member of the public is entitled to speak only once. In respect of business itemised on the agenda, and shall not speak for 3 minutes. Okay. Anybody like to say anything? Andy?
Yes. Reference item 2 on the agenda, which is the minutes. Approval of the minutes for the last meeting.
Yeah.
May I respectfully remind the parish councillors and the clerk that the minutes should be an accurate account of the meeting, and it is all your responsibilities to ensure that they are such before you vote on it. One of the benefits of having the video and the audio recording that I make is that it's very easy to check what was actually said after the event, and certainly if you're unsure about the contents of the meeting, that could be checked. There's no really any excuse for that. But I'm afraid my request to you to understand how and by whom items were added to the minutes from the meeting of the 6th of October haven't provided any answers. The items were added were not
Andy,
factual.
I think you're mentioning something that isn't on the agenda.
No, I have emailed you to say it's on the agenda for the next meeting.
It's the approval of the minutes. This is referring
to the minutes of the 6th of October. The item on the agenda is to approve the minutes of the Parish Council meeting on the 1st of December.
It's the general comment about approval
but I have
of
replied
minutes.
to you to say that it will be on the next meeting agenda, so we can discuss it then.
I just still like to remind the councillors that there were facts added to that meeting, and they are inaccurate, and I still don't understand how or why they were added. So I trust that the minutes will be corrected, and Joe said it will be on the agenda for the next meeting, but again, that's the next meeting, not now. And it's generally good practice, there's something else I added, to use a minutes book, because obviously when I asked for more information about the last meeting, the paper minutes and the paper notes that were taken have been destroyed, and it's good practice in business and elsewhere to have a minutes book, a permanent minutes book, of notes taken at meetings, so it could be audited afterwards and can be checked. So that's my point generally about minute taking and the accuracy of minutes.
Okay, so there's no anything in the minutes about discussion of minutes of the 6th of October, Joe. Thank you, because it's not on the agenda.
With regards to the planning meeting, would that be...
That'll be at the meeting. Any other comments? Thank you. Right, in that case I'll reopen the meeting and to approve the minutes of the previous Parish Council meeting held on the 1st of December. You've all had the copy of the minutes of the 1st of December. Are you all happy with them?
Yeah, I think they're all amendments.
Fine. I'll propose that they're accepted. Seconded. All in favour? Thank you, Simon. Okay. Item 3 on the agenda is to matters arising from the last meeting, which is green management, open spaces, ditches quote. So we had, we didn't have the quote at the last meeting, and as the work is requested to be done in January, so we have a quote for £600 from JSC Services and £600 from DHM Garden Maintenance. Okay, would you like to say?
Not really, other than just to be absolutely accurate in terms of procedures. It does, in our financial regulations, say that anything over £1,000 should be put out to general quotes for 3 quotes. there is a clause 11C which says where applications are made to waive financial regulations related to contracts in order to enable price to be negotiated without competition, the region should be following the recommendation. And I think, for the record, we should say something along the lines due to the expertise required to do this type of work and comply with our protection of the flora and fauna in the ditches, that we would like to use our approved preference supplier, which is John Carter and Co. And that's why we would want to accept this quote, and also on the basis that the price is not increased from last year.
And it's two separate.
It is, I know, but
Segregation.
yeah, we are operating within the.
I think it's a good point. If it could be viewed as aggregation, then it should be taken in around as 1,200 rather than 2 lots of 6, which is all for separate contractors. So I think you're right on that statement.
And the whole point of having this meeting was it had to be done in January?
Yeah.
First week of January. It's what it's the main ditch from which actually at Mr. Bates' house to Brown's Pit up the road, Brown's Pit to Beach Cottage, from Punch's Grove under the road, Culvert, Reeves Ditch, High Street, Grove End, Tide Lane ditch. So it's a good amount of work to be done on those ditches. So, any other comments or thoughts?
I think it might be useful later on in the year to remind villagers who have a riparian ownership along the ditches to make sure if they do any work on the ditches not to allow the foliage to drop into the water and go down the drains. And I think that should be mentioned several times on the website and in Spectrum, just to make sure these people know, because I have been aware of someone fairly new to the village and know them particularly well, and I didn't want to be embarrassed by the first time I spoke to them saying, you're clearing that ditch, make sure it doesn't clog up the drains, because I know that it can happen under by where I call the second ford, which is where Sharon lives. There's been a football down there, and that caused one of the, because there are two pipes that go through there, and one of them got blocked by a football, which I know is not the same as foliage, but it's very easily blocked.
Yes.
So they need to be reminded of what their duties are.
Yeah. And perhaps the Green Management Group talk about that. Yeah. There's a newsletter update or the website update and the Go Spectrum. That's a good idea. Any other comments? Proposals? Would you like to, I think we should agree to have this work done?
Yeah.
I propose that we accept those two.
Have you seconded it?
All those in favour? Thank you very much. The item 4 on the agenda is the precept. We postponed making the decision on the action matter precept from last month's meeting to allow any thoughts or considerations to bring it up at this meeting. Does anybody have any thoughts or comments they'd like to make on the precept proposal?
I'm still happy.
Okay. On that basis, then I will propose that the Parish Council applies to Huntingdon District Council for a precept of £27,070 for the financial year 2015 to 2016. So that's my proposal.
I'll second that.
All in favour? Thank you very much. Item 5 is to consider any correspondence communications. 5.1 formalisation of the easement on Beach Cottage. Where are you going? In the kitchen, all right. Well, we'll knock on you. Give you a shout, mate. The meeting. Kieran, you've got some some background on this.
Yeah, well really just a little bit of background information about how some properties have easements and others don't. When the Parish Council took over the ownership of the green in 1970, I understand that some effort was made to identify the properties which had a historic access right over the green, and to try and formalise the legal position for those properties. And it was done on the basis that the owners of those properties who benefited from this would cover any legal charges. Now, it appears that although Beach Cottage is on the list of properties which have these historical rights, or prescriptive usage, I think is what it's called, it has never been formalised within the deeds of that property. I believe that's what the owner is trying to do now. So I suggest that the Parish Council does not have any reason to object to this. It's a very well established right. It's for domestic using by foot and vehicle, and for services, water, electricity. So, so I would propose that we accept this on the basis that the owner will, as before, cover any legal costs in establishing this in their deeds.
Do they cover the Parish Council's costs and their own costs?
Well, I don't think there'll be any Parish Council costs. I think it's understanding there will be a document produced by the owner's solicitor, and then it's a question of two people from the Parish Council signing it. But obviously on the basis that it's approved to this evening.
Yes. There was a report, isn't there, in 2009 that the Parish Council undertook on easements around the village, and the easement for Beach Cottage is one that is listed as being in place. But it just doesn't appear that there is a formal document for it.
There was, we had to go through a similar procedure, and probably about 15 years ago there was a Parish Council sort of pro forma template that came from the council.
So this would be the exercise that...
Yes, and we went through exactly the same exercise, and I think we obviously had to contribute to the cost, but I know there was a document that came from the council.
Yes, yeah, and I assume that is a document that
Yeah.
was drawn up around that time, of which this property is listed as having had one. So,
well, I think it was always assumed that it would have, as Beach Rose Cottage next door has one.
Yes.
Place. As I say, it's never been an issue of contention with the Parish Council. It's really just a T crossing, I don't think it's size in terms of the deeds of that property.
absolutely, yeah. I'm happy with that.
I'd be happy with that as long as there isn't any cost to the Parish Council, which says a couple of signatures, I don't imagine it will.
That's it.
Yeah.
We'll dig out the form.
About 15 years ago. Did you say?
No, I don't think you need to do
10
that.
years, well, you might not need to.
I think it's that was when the Parish Council was doing the exercise of trying
Yeah.
to formalise everybody's property. In this case, the initiative is being taken by the owner of Beach Cottage. So
The only thing we may have to do is run it by the Parish Council solicitors to make sure that it's acceptable.
yeah.
And there may be a little bit of cost involved there, because solicitors don't do anything, do they? And that will be on the basis, as all easements have been done, that would have to be covered by the property owner,
Yes.
the applicant.
I think the last one I remember was it is it Manor House? Is it Manor House on Crossroads? I always get the houses and the halls and the Hilton House. Yes, I think that was fairly probably the last one that's done, and that was only a little while ago. Just to formalise it.
Yeah. So I think we could propose that that's accepted on the basis of the discussion we've had, that it's
And no cost to the Parish
no
Council.
cost, and it's obviously have to be checked that it's an acceptable wording. Yeah?
Yes.
Happy with that?
Yes.
It's a proposal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll propose that then. I'm going to propose it. Just no seconding it. All those in favour? Thank you very much. Could you Graham, not to say, please go back in.
Bring in the accused.
You didn't put the kettle on then?
No.
5.2 is right of access of land adjacent to Peck's High Street Hilton. This came up at the last Parish Council meeting. Is that something else as well?
Well, only really just, I suppose, to repeat what we said last time, that we've written to the owner with a very brief reaction to the use of that as an access point. I think we should, I think it's already been agreed, that we're going to write a fuller description of the historical history behind that and paint a clear picture. I think we should leave it at that for then.
Yeah. Anybody else?
Are we going to have a working group to do that? Letter?
It's
very hard
We have an easement.
Will they be doing it?
We can do that.
But there's always very hard to write a letter between agents, isn't it?
Yeah. But the easement.
So if the easement working group have to write it,
because it is about access stroke easements, isn't it?
but it's also looking through all the history, isn't it? From the 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, in the official minutes.
yeah. So they looked at, and there will be some letters that went to the solicitors and things. So can I suggest that they write it, but up to a level where it doesn't incur costs?
The work.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
that's,
Oh, yeah.
that's the next stage, isn't it?
That's a good point. It'd be cheaper for the lawyer to just tweak, adjust, rather than completely throw off. Yeah.
And target date? I think it's important it's done relatively quickly. It's actually a trick, isn't it? So can I pin you into a particular date? Right. I mean, the next meeting is January, isn't it? In January.
End of January.
Is it done before then?
5.3, yeah.
Mid-January, shall we
Yes,
aim to do it?
mid-January.
Okay.
Yes, mid-January, lovely. Thank you, Graham. Okay. All happy on that one?
Yes.
We'll do that. Item 5.3 is to propose a change at the next PC meeting to 26th of January. Normally we have our Parish Council meetings on the first Monday of each month, but as we're all aware, we don't have a Parish Council meeting in January, which would mean the next meeting would be February, the whatever, 2nd. And February is a short month as well, which would mean it'd only be 4 weeks before the Parish Council meeting in March. So I wondered whether it might be an idea to move the Parish Council meeting to the 26th of January to break the gap up a little bit, then to give 5 weeks before the next Parish Council meeting in March. And that's my proposal.
It's just a one-off or with a regular thing, we'll see how it goes.
For January?
To see, yeah.
Yeah, it might. Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Okay.
Because there's a long gap.
But it would need to be well advertised, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Because people would be expecting it
Yeah.
in the first week in February. But as long as it was well advertised, I don't have a problem.
Yeah.
Because we move things because of public holidays, don't we? So moving it's not unknown as long as there's enough notice given.
Put some notices on the notice board.
We'll put it on the website as well, so.
Yeah.
That's a Monday, is it? 26?
I believe so.
Sure it is.
Okay. Well, that's, yeah, at the same time.
Nichols, 3, I've checked.
Okay.
I'll back up that then.
Okay.
A second.
Thank you very much. All those in favour? It is Monday, Graham.
Yeah.
It's causing us to down. Thank you very much. Item 6 is to authorise any payment of the bills. Cambridgeshire County Council Crossing. We had a response at the last meeting. We suggested we would actually ask the Cambridgeshire County Council what the total cost of that project was.
And we got it cheap, apparently, because of the charges for the extra work they did.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
And the bill, and because we'd always said that the parish council would contribute up to and not exceeding the amount of £10,000. The cost of the project was over £20,000 plus the unknown cost of the bits we got for free.
Yes.
So there we are. The Cambridgeshire County Council agreed to pay this for us to pay it over 3 years, which is very generous. Now I have to write the cheque.
Yeah.
Is that 3 years, December every consecutive year? Has that been stated?
It hasn't been stated.
No.
No, but that's when we got
That's when we got the first one.
first
Sure.
invoice in December. Someone
Yeah.
assumes
If
it's
you
a
have
3 year.
on them, if they wanted the payment structure that went from sort of December to sort of March and then whenever, I think the onus would be on them to say that it's a schedule, which they haven't. So
At the end of the
the
day,
rate of three payments,
we're
it's
going to have to
a
pay it.
reasonable assumption. It'll be December, December, December.
Yeah. If it's not, we'll have to pay it anyway. So
That's 3,333 and 34
34
pence.
yeah.
Just need to round it up. Yeah, I'm happy then.
Yeah.
Just, do you want to propose it? Or?
Oh, I'll propose it. Yes, I'll propose that we pay the first instalment of the bill.
Happy to say good.
Thank you, Frank. All in favour? Any other bills we pay?
No.
Any monies received? I see 6.2 is monies received.
Yeah, Wiser Recycling, we've got the money
Oh, yeah.
from that, £65.52.
Excellent. Thank you very much. And on that basis,
It's impressive.
no other monies received?
No.
I shall close the meeting. Thank you very much.
Right.
Now there's going to be a planning meeting.